The conflict in Syria, already one of the most complex and devastating in modern history, continues to escalate with new and unsettling developments. Among the most significant of these developments are reports from the UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, SOHR, which have drawn attention to the growing presence of Israeli forces in the Quneitra countryside, an area in southwestern Syria that borders the Golan Heights. These reports have raised serious concerns about the shifting dynamics of regional power, Israel's military strategy, and the broader geopolitical implications of the Syrian conflict. The Quneitra region, located near the Golan Heights, has long been a flashpoint between Israel and Syria. The Golan Heights, which Israel captured from Syria in the 1967 Six-Day War, has been of strategic importance to Israel, offering a critical vantage point for surveillance and defense against potential threats from Syria and beyond. The area remains highly sensitive, with both Israel and Syria asserting claims over it. Israel officially annexed the Golan Heights in 1981, a move that has been widely condemned by the international community, but the territory remains contested, with Syria continuing to claim it as part of its sovereign land. Source allegations that Israeli forces have been occupying villages and towns in the Quneitra countryside as part of a broader military strategy have drawn attention not only because of the sensitive nature of the region but also because of Israel's historical reluctance to openly confirm its military actions in Syria. According to the SOHR reports, Israeli forces have been engaging in a pattern of occupation and withdrawal, moving through various villages and towns in the Quneitra region. These forces allegedly established temporary control over strategic locations, dismantling military positions in the process, before relocating to other areas. This pattern of activity has led many observers to believe that Israel's actions are part of a broader strategy to maintain influence in the region, prevent the entrenchment of hostile forces, and assert dominance over key military positions near the Golan Heights. The Israeli government has not officially confirmed the specific details of the SOHR reports. However, Israel's military strategy in Syria is well documented and includes regular airstrikes against Iranian and Hezbollah military positions, which Israel sees as a direct threat to its security. Iran, a key ally of the Syrian government, has been attempting to establish a military presence in Syria, building up military infrastructure and supply lines that could potentially be used to launch attacks on Israeli territory. Israel has made it clear that it will not allow such an entrenchment and has taken aggressive action to prevent Iranian forces from setting up permanent bases near its borders. The Israeli military's operations in Syria have focused primarily on striking weapons depots, supply lines, and military installations tied to Iran and its allies, such as Hezbollah. However, the reports from SOHR regarding Israeli occupation of towns in Quneitra, if accurate, suggest that Israel may be taking a more active role in asserting control over key areas in southern Syria. This would be a departure from the more indirect approach Israel has taken in the past, in which it has primarily relied on airstrikes and other forms of military intervention rather than occupying ground. The broader geopolitical context of these developments is crucial to understanding the motivations behind Israel's actions. Since the onset of the Syrian civil war in 2011, the region has become a battleground for competing foreign powers. Iran, Russia, and Hezbollah have backed the regime of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, while the United States and its allies have supported various opposition groups. The involvement of these external powers has transformed the conflict into a global proxy war, with regional and international actors vying for influence and control over Syria's future. Israel's main concern has always been the growing influence of Iran in Syria. As Iran has attempted to establish a military foothold in the country, Israel has grown increasingly worried that Iran may use Syria as a staging ground for attacks against Israel. In response, Israel has conducted hundreds of airstrikes in Syria, targeting Iranian weapons shipments, military installations, and other assets. These strikes have been designed not only to neutralize immediate threats but also to send a message to both Syria and Iran that Israel will not tolerate any form of military buildup near its borders. The alleged occupation of towns in the Quneitra region fits into this broader strategy, signaling Israel's willingness to take more direct action to secure its interests in southern Syria. The region's proximity to the Golan Heights makes it an area of particular strategic importance for Israel. By occupying key positions in Quneitra, Israel may be attempting to ensure that no hostile forces, such as Iranian-backed militias, gain a foothold that could later be used to launch attacks against Israeli territory. The situation is further complicated by the presence of Russian forces in Syria, which have been aligned with the Syrian government since 2015. Russia has played a crucial role in the Syrian conflict, helping to turn the tide in favor of Assad's regime. While Russia and Israel have generally managed to avoid direct conflict in Syria, tensions have arisen over Israel's military actions, particularly when they involve Russian-made weapons or assets. Russia has long maintained a delicate balance in Syria, seeking to support Assad's government while also avoiding open confrontation with Israel, a key player in the region. However, Israel's growing military footprint in southern Syria could test this balance, particularly if it leads to further escalation of tensions with Syria or Iran. The growing presence of Israeli forces in the Quneitra region also has implications for Syria's own territorial integrity. While the Syrian government has not made official comments on the SOHR reports, it is clear that any Israeli occupation of Syrian land would be seen as a violation of Syria's sovereignty. Syria's government has long condemned Israeli military actions in the Golan Heights and other parts of the country. Given the ongoing civil war and the fragmented state of Syrian control, however, the Syrian government has been unable to effectively challenge Israel's actions on the ground. The situation in Syria remains fluid, and the conflict shows no signs of abating anytime soon. The presence of multiple foreign powers with competing interests has created a highly volatile environment, and the stakes for Israel, Iran, and other regional actors are extremely high. The reports from SOHR regarding Israeli occupation of towns in Quneitra highlight just how complex and dangerous the situation in Syria has become. As Israel continues to assert its military presence in the region, it remains to be seen how Syria, Iran, and other actors will respond and whether the conflict will escalate further as a result.